This reminds me of the way I was brought up. It was the way I lived it. These houses are the typical houses that we lived in here in the Mississippi Delta. Design is a shotgun house. You can open the front door and look completely through the house. And the reason they did that, the boss man could come up to your house and he could look and make sure nobody was inside the house. Make sure that everybody was at the cotton field working. My mom and dad had one room, and my sisters and brother, we shared one room, exception of my mom would separate the female from the male with a sheet across the middle of the room. And we had a kitchen with a stove, a wooden stove, and a table in it. So your day started early, around 6 a.m. or earlier. But you're gonna be at the barn, getting ready to go wherever you got to do at 7 a.m. We would feed the pigs and chickens before we go to work that morning. So we would feed them probably about 6:30 that morning. And we would come work on the garden during lunchtime. They grow pretty much everything they ate, but they really grew a lot of peas, green, okra, tomato. We had peanuts. We had almost everything. Okay, this is a heater stove, and this thing would be hot all time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You always would have something on this stove cooking. You have turnip green, field peas, a killer with water in it so you could wash your hand. And my mom, it was 9 of us, and my mom always would have a big pot of turnip greens or field peas or something on this thing cooking at all times. The mom always would get off at 11 and come home, and she would fix lunch for the family. And my mom would cook cornbread in the ashes. She would pour it in the ashes, and we'll just eat just the center part of it, of the bread. This bed would sleep 4 people, and beds was everywhere. You would have beds in the kitchen. You wouldn't have a living room. You would have beds almost everywhere you could put a bed. If I see a quilt like this, it brings back memories of, hard time ladies making these quilts,